Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox live Q&A. I'm your host, Dr. Daryl Wolfe, and I just want to say that I hope you had the best weekend of your life. Now, before we go any further today, I always like to do my little chat, and the little chat today is this. Do you remember, try to remember, okay, just think about this for a second. Do you remember before COVID? I want you to do me a favor. I want you to write down how much of your day did you actually worry? How much of your day were you in the future? How much of your day were you in the past? You're going to find out something. You're going to find out that the people that can never be in the present moment or calm down or stay in the parasympathetic to heal themselves, to heal their families, okay, to actually deliver self-love to themselves, because are going to be very few and far between. Understand something. COVID only turned up the burner, and that's what happened. If you would have learned how to master your mind, or should I say, become the master of your mind before COVID, you would have said to yourself, this is all nonsense. And why am I giving up my rights? And why am I giving up my human rights? Because really, truly, if you were to totally open up your mind and take a look around and bring the pieces together like a puzzle, you'd understand it's not so hard to put it together. It's not so hard to think of those people who were supposed to be our saviors aren't our saviors. Like, just got a video, which I will put up, on Elon Musk. He just did a lecture in Dubai, and he said, this is how it goes, okay? If you don't want to become robotic, okay, otherwise, if you don't want to be half human and half robot, you will become obsolete, and there will be no place for you in this world. I'm going to play this video for you. So, I got to tell you, maybe I'm just old school, right? I'm just an old fool. But the reality is, oh my gosh, I just love nature, and I love the simple things. And if you told me that I had a choice, that I had to walk away from technology completely, okay, or if I had any technology at all, then that means that I have to become robotic. I would say I'll give up technology completely. And also, I've already had an invitation to go and live with the indigenous up in the mountains, which I'm actually thinking over, to be honest with you. Now, and the reality is, you already know I don't make this stuff up, right? Okay, so I'm upstairs in my other studio, and, I've got younger guys, they're 22, 23, and I say, look, guys, let me ask you a question. So, I told them about Elon Musk, and about his stuff, and I said, listen, if they said to you, okay, you either, going to become obsolete, or, we need to implant this into your skull and this wire into your brain, what would you say? And you know what? They were very honest. And I'm not out to change anybody's minds. So you got to get that. And what I believe is what I believe. What they believe is what they believe. And I'm going to let everybody believe what they believe, because I'm not going to get into everybody's business. I'm going to mind my own business. Well, as much as I can. For those who want to come on here, I guess you want to know what I'm thinking. But the reality is I said, so what would you do? And they go, well, I wouldn't be the first one, but I'd wait to see what the previews are. So, and they were very honest. They said, I'll wait and see how it's going. Like how many people are, having a blood clot maybe and dying, or a heart attack, or they just go zzz, zzz, and that's it. But they said, no, once they work the bugs out, I'd consider it. So understand, everything is programming, because my generation would not, which, I'm almost 65, my generation would not opt for that as fast. I mean, some people would, especially if their body's wearing out, like if they didn't look after themselves, because you know what, it's like this, I have to tell you right now, those people are really healthy. Those people have really healthy minds, healthy thoughts, healthy bodies. They're not opting for any of these things. What do I need a diaper on my face for? And understand something. You can be fearful, and I get it, and you can wear one of those things, but you do know they have cancer-causing chemicals in them, right? So I don't know what you're talking about. And also, when you're breathing up hot air, you're actually breathing up poo particles, and the bacteria are actually collecting inside the mask. So nothing makes any sense today. All common sense is totally gone. And the reality is, I think, to be honest with you, they had to get rid of all common sense, okay, so that we would do things that will actually jeopardize our lives and our family lives. So anyways, all I'm trying to say is before COVID, I guarantee you that take a look at the people in your family. They were running high anxiety and fear programs prior. So what happens when you get a bigger drama? Well, you just turn the heat up on the burner. That's all you're doing. And that's the thing that I really have come to realize. And this weekend was a really beautiful weekend and very peaceful for me. And I really, it's not about fighting it or giving into it, but I really came to the point that I said, Daryl, just share the love as much as possible. People are going to do what they're going to do. And the world's going to go where it's going to go because the majority have already just said, okay, do whatever you want to me. So the reality is I'm going to live every moment, every second with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my spirit. And know that no matter what happens, there is a greater purpose. And this is not me giving in, so understand that. I'm always going to stand for what I believe for. But the reality is there's a lot of people out there that don't understand self-love. They don't understand self-care. And they don't understand that if they're not going to care for themselves and if they're not going to love themselves, they're not going to be doing that for their families. It's the craziest thing that parents, aren't equipped to be adults. What? No, parents are not equipped to be adults. They're not equipped to make adult decisions. Most parents are adulterated, in the way that, they have very bad habits, right? They do. I mean, until I really decided that I was going to really, really get into understanding how I think, how I tick, why I did what I just did, why I said what I just said. Now I can honestly say that I'm really, truly a positive for my children. I'm really, truly a positive for the people around me. And you know what? I don't have to raise my voice. I'm just going to hold the line for total unconditional love for myself and for everyone else. And that's the whole thing, self-care, self-love, and family. So I need you to think about that every moment, and I need you to embrace it. And I would tell you to go and embrace my 4 pillars of love. And you'll find that in my perfect day, like, the Love Band, Life Band, connecting to your Lionheart breath, doing the personal mirror work or the couples mirror work, and also doing mirror work every time you go into the bathroom, looking into your own eyes and just letting yourself know that you will honor, respect, protect, and love yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help you God. Because what's more important than words is actions. And so your children are looking at you. Your wife is looking at you. Your husband is looking at you. Your family, your friends are all watching you. It's one thing for me to just talk about things. I got to tell you something. There are so many health leaders out there, so many government officials. There's so many people, scientists. There's so many medical people out there, and they're full of crap. They're full of bullshit. That's what they are. They're full of bullshit. That's what they are. Yeah. And you know why? Because they don't do what they say. They don't. I mean, these people are telling you to wear masks. I guarantee you they're not wearing them. And the same rules don't apply to them. And even as far as everything else, I don't even think the vaccinations are going to apply to them. And then, this morning I was told by a very prominent doctor out of United States that they're trying to pass legislation now that everybody in New York is mandated to get the vaccine. So things are changing. Now, what are you going to do? Well, you can't change anything except change yourself. So how are you going to honor, respect, and protect and love yourself right now, here in this moment? Are you going to connect to your Lionheart breathing, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, wear a slight smile on your face, hold your shoulders back, your chin up, and just be very thoughtful about your thoughts, very thoughtful about people, and understand something, and you're going to have it. Okay, like I'm going to tell you right now, every day, it's a few people will call up and they're crying. They're crying on the phone, or they're saying they can't take it anymore to me, or they're calling me and saying, thank you for supporting me and my family. You know, I had 2 people call this morning very early, and I've never talked to them before, and they've just been watching my one-a-days, and they say, I just want to thank you for your honesty and for your love and your sincerity, and I just have to tell you, everyone, isn't that what it's all about? And I need you to get this. I made a decision a long time to hold the line and have integrity, and to really, you know, it's about how well we do this, how well we love each other, how well we love each other ourselves, how we care for each other. This is going to be a big test. And like I told you, okay, the amount of anxiety that you are suffering from, the amount of fear that you have, and the amount of sickness that you have, it's your beliefs. If you're not willing to change parts of your personality and to get rid of some very toxic habits on an emotional and physical level, well, you haven't seen anything yet, because they're going to be turning up the burner so hot, but the heat can't bother me. Can you stay in the present moment? Because the present moment is the gift. Can you stay connected to your breath? That will be the big decision, okay? So send in your live questions now on Facebook or YouTube, and I will answer them. You can send them in on Intercom too. We have people watching that, and you can find us on Telegram and BitChute. The links will be in the description at the end of the show, but on BitChute, I'm at Doc of Detox, and again on Telegram. And you'll find things in there that you won't find on my Facebook or on YouTube, because I want to stay on as long as I can before they take us down. A lot of my dear friends in the health industry and in the research industry, they've already lost their websites. So, yeah, they're going to power on through, and they're going to ignore us. But do me one favor when they're ignoring us. Do not ignore yourself, and do not ignore your family. Touch your family, hug your family, kiss your family, okay? I'm going to tell you something. When I tell you that it's time that you learn unconditional self-love and self-care for yourself, this is not taking anything away from your family. This is making you into the gift that you give your family. Understand this. People that disrespect themselves on a physical and emotional level are wearing masks, and even if they're not wearing masks, they're trying to kill themselves. So believe it or not, everybody on this planet has been programmed to kill themselves. Now, depending on how many negative beliefs you have about yourself and about your life, and how deep they run, is how good a job you are at knocking yourself off right now. Just know that my heart is with you, and I really want to see everybody come out the other side of this, okay? But you're going to have to learn how to be a Braveheart warrior. And when you emotionally start to lose it, then straighten your shoulders up. Connect to the Lionheart breath. Put a slight smile on your face, okay? Put your chin up and watch. It'll change everything. And you got to keep it there. That's all you got to do. But guess what? Your subconscious is going to tell you, no, we're invested into this terrorizing, hateful sadness that we're living right now. And you can't buy into it, because your subconscious is not your friend until every belief in there is based on unconditional, total love and care for yourself. So you got to get there. And if you can't get there right away, fake it until you make it. This is really important. So anyways, you can go to BitChute or Telegram to see things of that nature. Tuesday, November the 10th, I've got Sherry Tenpenny live. She has no website anymore. She's been taken down. Sherry Tenpenny is probably the most powerful, one of the most powerful women on this planet. She has such a soul, such a spirit. And she is going to talk to you about transhumanism. And that's at 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday. Oops, that would be when? Tomorrow. Okay? And that's a live show. And then on Wednesday, we're doing Practitioner's Corner, where you're going to hear from a practitioner who came and took my course, okay? Him and his wife came and took my course 3 times, which is a 21-day course, and how they are booked solid for 3 months, okay? And how it's changed their whole lives. It's changed their relationship as a couple, okay? He was so depressed, he didn't know if he wanted to live, okay? She was not depressed, but more angry, because she wanted to know where the love went. And you're going to be able to see what he's got to say about their relationship, and about how they've always wanted to be practitioners, and how they thought they had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and go to school for years. And they came where? They came here they spent approximately 21 days 3 times. But understand, the training never stops with me. And understand something. They give a money-back guarantee on all their treatments and trainings. Did you get that? Okay, does your doctor do that? Why do we do it? Because we're good at what we do. Okay? And understand, there's a hidden practitioner in everyone. Okay? You got to be willing to learn to love, respect, and honor yourself. And when you do that, you release that genius inside of you, and you can accomplish anything. All right? So there you go. And then on Wednesday, I'll be talking to John Killick. It's called Practitioner's Corner. Thursday, I'll have Sherry Tenpenny back live. So put all your questions in. If you've got questions today for her, you can just put question for Sherry, okay? And she'll answer it, okay? Or on my one a day tomorrow morning, okay? Or on tomorrow night's show with her at 4:30 p.m. And then we'll be back at 4:30 p.m. for transhumanism Q&A with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, first I'm going to do the live questions, everyone. I am very thin. There's no name. Okay, I'm very thin and have just been diagnosed with Lyme's disease and mold toxicity. I don't have much money right now. What can I do? Okay, first, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something right now. Lyme's disease is the go-to symptom that everybody gets diagnosed with when they can't figure out what to tell you what you got. Now, I know she's going to go, oh my gosh, that's no answer. Yeah, but understand something. I'm very thin. Understand something. Overweight is not healthy. The reason why we talk about people being overweight all the time is because there's so many of them. 80% of the population to 85% of the population, wherever you go, is overweight. Go figure, eh? Okay? All right, so guess what? When you're overweight, that's how they dumbed us down, because we ate all those dumb foods, right? And those dumb foods were filled with chemicals. Remember something, they wouldn't have been able to pull this off if they didn't dumb us down, if they didn't make us full of fear. So here's the deal. So it's better to be overweight than underweight. So I'm not telling you it's good to be overweight, though. So let's not take that one to the bank. But the reality is being underweight means that you've been burning up with anxiety, and you've been pumping your adrenaline on a continual basis, and you're eating up your body. Yeah, that's right. So it's just like, there's no muscle, right? Your body eats up muscle when your immune system is going down, because your body breaks down muscle to use it as amino acids to power itself. So when somebody says to me, and mold toxicity, well, there's mold everywhere. But here's the problem with the mold thing, is if your immune system's down and you're underweight and you can't put on, if you can't put on weight and you're underweight, that means you don't have an immune system. So people will say, I need to put on weight, Daryl. And I go, no, you don't. You need to stop triggering your adrenals, which is also releasing cortisol and histamine. And what you need to do is start releasing DOS, which is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Now, when you release the dose, which is all those beautiful hormones that heal us and make us feel great, okay, that's when we're going to bring up our vibration, which means you'll bring up your weight. But if you can't get a handle on that mind of yours, you will never gain weight again. And then if you tell me, well, I'm going to eat fattening foods and I'm going to eat a lot of food, well, then guess what? Then you got a pot belly, because it's not weight you want, it's muscle you want, but you won't put on muscle until you bring your immune system back. So everything needs to be targeted to what bring the immune system down. And understand something. Stress and a leaky gut. Okay, now everybody say that right now. Stress and a leaky gut. There are the two main causes of every illness on the planet. Stress and a leaky gut. So the leaky gut is caused because of the new improved foods, the GMO foods, okay? Do you understand? The sugars, the gluten, the dairy, okay? Like they don't push that at us, okay? And then the stress, okay, if you're physically not feeling good, what does that do to your mind? If your mind is like a runaway horse, what does that do to your body? Well, the last time you're stressed, you feel like a truck hit you. Okay, and then the last time that you didn't eat good, which most people don't eat good ever, I mean, because if ever you're feeling bloated, which this woman here does feel bloated a lot, and here's the deal. When you start getting Lyme's disease and you get mold to the point that your body cannot fight off the mold, and it becomes a mold inside, because when your vibration comes down, which is your immune system, you change the environment in the body. And then you vibrate at a very low level, which means you vibrate at worms, mold, right, which is fungus, bad bacteria, and viruses, which are dead, but you're going to have tons of them because they are the byproduct of infected cells. That's it. So you got to build your immune system up. But now you're saying, I don't have any money. Now, I want to say something right now. How long have you been saying, I don't have money? I don't know her, so anybody who thinks that I'm picking on her, I'm talking to right now probably 10,000 people that are on watching, right? And out of those people, there could be hundreds of people that are dealing with similar situations. Let me tell you something. I was making sometimes, well, I don't want to tell you much. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. But guess what? Didn't matter how much money I made. I had poverty consciousness. No matter how much was in the bank, I still just always thought that, I got to think poverty because then I'll make enough money. And that's what we just drive ourselves crazy. The only reason why I made money is because I work hard and I was still logical and had common sense. But the reality, if you don't have common sense, you're not willing to work hard, and you've got a poverty consciousness, boom, you're not going to have anything. So now I don't have poverty consciousness. I love working hard at what I do because I love it, okay? And I still have common sense. So even through all these times right now, we're making money. But if I wasn't making money, we wouldn't be able to do these shows for you. That'd be a problem. And that's the craziest thing. I'll get on Facebook and I'll say something, and somebody will go on, yeah, but you charge people still. And I'm like, I mean, who even talks like this? Who talks like this? Really? Do you ever say that to the government official, or do you say that to the medical doctor? No, you got to go after the natural health guy, who's supposed to hang himself on a cross. Meanwhile, I could just be a marketer and just sell products like a lot of my colleagues, or I can just say, hey, I care, and do these shows. So here's the deal. You are only going to have the health, and you are only going to have the wealth, and sometimes your wealth is going to go down. I understand that. Mine has. But you are only going to have the health, definitely, okay, determined, guess what, on value. How much do you value yourself? How much are you worth? Be honest. Write that number down on a piece of paper right now. Don't give it any thought. Just do it. Because as soon as you start to think it, your subconscious is going to want to tell you, at least 90%. And understand something. I'm very, very gut feeling kind of guy. I'm an intuitive. And understand the average person has 8 to 12%. Okay, of value for themselves out of 100. So don't ask yourself why we're in this crapper that we're in, because that's why we're in this crapper. Okay? All right. So I will tell you this much. If if you're not going to drink structured water and a lot of it, okay, if you're not going to make sure your bowels are moving, okay, so I'm not even going to talk about product because she has no money, but the reality is that what you could do is you could get a belly button therapy kit, or you can use your finger, or you could get someone to make something like it, but you should do belly button therapy because you hardly ever are in a parasympathetic state. People that are in Lyme disease, they are terrorists. They terrorize the crap out of themselves, okay? And they're usually quite depressed, and they usually are full of anxiety. Tell me I'm wrong. And they're not full of energy, are they? Because it takes a lot of energy to run a program like that. And it doesn't take, you know how much energy it takes to love yourself? It doesn't take any. It takes you wanting to practice it 10,000 times, repeating it and repeating it and repeating it so that your mind says, okay, we'll let you do it. Okay? So here's what I would do, love, is I would actually go in and watch my 12 Loving Steps video and read the booklet called The Braveheart 12 Loving Steps in my library. And I'd also go into the Perfect Day diet, and I would look at the Perfect Day 4 pillars: the exercise, the nutrition, the diet, and the emotional work. And then give me a call. I don't know who you are, but call me anyway. My extension is number 5. And then I'll tell you what we can do. Understand that. But I want to tell you one thing. You feed the spirit, you heal the body. You feed the body, that doesn't mean anything. You feed the spirit first and foremost. What does that cost you? Not much. But if you take a look at your life, my little Lyme's disease moldy friend, let me tell you something. What haven't you let go of? How was your upbringing? What are you holding on to? What kind of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse did you go through? We need to do the work. We need to do the work. Hello, I have a falling arch in my foot. You don't actually have a falling arch. What you have is crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue. And that's what's happening. You can actually build that arch back up. Okay? All right, so what happens is through an acidic mind and acidic diet, crystallization, scar tissue formation, calcium, and there's nobody that's over the age of 40 that doesn't have cement feet, all right? We don't really appreciate our feet. I would tell you to get a foot roller. I don't have it down here, but it's called a foot roller. It's like about this big, okay? Can you text Tara and tell her to go upstairs to the where I work out and grab my foot roller, okay? Okay. So anyways, I would do some foot rolling, but I would also do here. If you start skin brushing your feet and you start clapping your feet. Oh, and just so everybody knows, by tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, I will have, it's a 2.5-hour video I did, and it's preparing you for clapping. Now, understand something. Clapping is one of the most amazing things. You know, you tell me you don't have money, so get yourself a clapper. You got a hand if you can't afford that. But I am going to be showing you how to clap every body part and every major illness, okay? I'm going to show you how to clap it well, all right? And like I was saying before, anybody who starts clapping and you bruise, people who are healthy don't bruise. Did you get that? I'm going to say it again. They don't bruise. They don't have purple. They don't have black. They don't have brown. They don't have green. Okay? They don't bruise like that. People that are dying bruise without even hitting anything. Do you get that? Oh my God, look at this. I got a bruise here. I didn't even hit anything. Yeah, that's because you're rotten to the core. So understand something. You don't bruise in your body until you have root rot, which is your large intestine. And when they say leaky gut, they're talking about your large intestine, not talking about your gut. Okay? Do you ever notice that everything is like a mystery? Leaky gut. What does that mean, man? Well, what it means is you've got root rot. And when you get root rot long enough and you don't look after your large intestine, which who in the hell does? Okay? Hardly anybody. Then you get rotten to the core, which now your core, which holds 85% of your energy, it's rotten to the core. Why do you think you have bad breath? Why do you think you have stinky poop? Why do you think your armpit smell? Why do you think your wife doesn't want to kiss you first thing in the morning? Okay? Why do you think you've got vaginitis? Why do you think you got sinusitis? Why do you think you've got earaches? Oh, I could go on and on. Arthritis, all of this stuff. I mean, you can't be sick or have a disease or have a negative symptom, okay, on a physical level unless you got root rot where you are absorbing your own waste, because you've got to have infection before you have inflammation, and then you get inflammation, and then you get crystallization, scar tissue formation, displaced calcification, where you're pulling calcium from your bones like crazy because you're on fire and your body goes, I don't want to die. I don't want cancer. So I got to pull all this calcium from your bones, and that's why you're like Swiss cheese. And that's all because you never, ever got connected to your breath and went, How many people do you know, if there's a crisis, and they can just go, 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. How many people in your family, they measure their love and how devoted they are to the family by how much they suffer, how much trauma they cause. Oh my God, did you hear Aunt Millie? She's got cancer. You know, or you could say, did you hear that Aunt Millie is dealing with cancer? Is there any way that we could maybe get together and find out things, bring her really good food to eat, maybe go be with her, bring her up, cheer her up, or maybe find someone and create a protocol and find out if Aunt Millie would like to live? No, let's just freak the hell out of Aunt Millie. Let's freak the hell out of ourselves and then walk into the room and going, guess what? What? People with cancer die. You don't think Aunt Millie smells that on you? Stay the heck away from her until you find your Braveheart. Oh my God, what are we going to do? You know, let me tell you something. This is why we're in this mess. And you can think I'm making fun of people. I know I'm a drama queen. I know that people get pissed off at me, you know, but the reality is we're at the goal line here, guys. And this is the greatest wake-up call for us. You know, we could just all learn how to love ourselves and each other more. But will we? I don't know. Here's a foot roller. You see the ridges here? You can order these on Amazon. Don't get the one with all the bumps. This is the one that I would get here. Can you see it? And I roll my feet on this, and you'll hear the crunching and this stuff. You know what? Here's the deal, okay? You know, let me see. Who was it here? Falling Arch. So the reality is, how many of you actually take massive personal action when you get sick? I didn't say massive personal reaction. I said massive personal action. How many? Hardly anybody. And don't even tell me you do. Calling and getting a prescription is not it. Okay? Complaining about your pain is not it. You can't complain with your pain. You got to work with your pain. And the pain is the worse the pain is how much in danger you are. So you can't tell your body to shut up and take drugs or just lay there and moan and groan. You got to find somebody that can teach you how to master your pain on an emotional and physical level. But anyways, do the foot rolling. Okay, that's a good start. And I'll tell you one thing you should be doing too. Look in my DIY guide and the exercises in there. Make sure you text Drake and tell him that those exercises better be in the DIY guide today. He said, no, do it right away. Okay, so you go to my DIY guide and you're going to see the pelvic squats. You're going to see the pelvic enhancer. You're going to see about clapping. You're going to see about a lot of stuff. So go to the DIY guide. Pelvic enhancer and pelvic squats would be amazing, believe it or not, for your fallen arches. All right? And then clapping and then doing skin brush. And then also do salt glows. Do the Epsom salts, cocoa salt glow. Everything to get circulation in there. Everything to bring the life back to your feet. Okay? There's other things you could do too, but there's a start for you. I'm going to tell everybody right now, spend the $150. You know, I know that you feel money's tight, most people, but the reality is would you like to have a whole life master coach working with you plus me? My extension's number 5. And I can tell you right now, people who get our consultation, they'll get like the perfect day built from them from the minute they wake up till they go to bed. Yeah. And understand something. Do you want to Band-Aid this thing? Or do you want a blueprint, a proven strategy that's actually going to get to you where you need to go. And you've got unlimited life support with us. How's that? Because you need unlimited life support with us so that you're not on life support. I hope you get this. All right. The top of my foot close to my baby toes have been hurting. Yeah, well, of course, that's the crystallization and the calcification that's happening. And the further you go from the heart, the more crystallization, calcification, not the cold feet, the numbing of the feet, people with stump leg, right? People who say that they can't even feel their lower leg anymore because of all that calcification, crystallization, right? It's numbed right out, and they're in so much pain. All of this, any of this can be reversed. Are you willing to take massive personal action? Well, not if you love yourself 8 to 12%. Then you'll only do 8 to 12% for yourself because you've been taught that by serving the world is how we get ahead. And yeah, that didn't work for me, but it might work for you. Also, the two toes are stuck together. Well, yeah, because guess what? The calcification, the crystallization, the scar tissue formation is actually wrapping itself around the nerve. Okay, and that's why you'll get your toe going, ding, right? Okay, and yeah, stiff as a board. How's that? All of this can be reversed. Okay, but you know what? I got to tell you something right now. The majority of the population, are you ready for this? If they weren't in pain, they'd think they were dead. Okay? Oh, wow, I'm in pain. Oh, I'm still alive, thank God. And that's the way we've been taught. Because we've been taught to rot. I already told you that. If we weren't rotting out, we wouldn't be in pain. You can't have inflammation without infection. Can't have infection unless you absorbed it. Okay? Just happened recently. Well, it's going to get worse and worse. You got to take massive action. Okay, I'd get a clapper right away if I were you. And if you get your clapper, and if you got FaceTime, if you got an iPhone, or you want to do Skype with me, if you get a clapper, I'll teach you how to clap your feet. And when you go to clap your feet, you'll use the side of the edges here, or this, and it's called a Doc of Detox clapper. Go to equipment on my website, and you can buy clappers, everyone. Okay, and like I said, we are going to show people how to do this. And it will be free for the first while, and then it'll be going up into our masterclass portal. And all our masterclasses are going to be free until January the 1st. Come January the 1st, they're not going to be free anymore, okay? They're not going to be costly, but they're not going to be free. Okay, so enjoy. I was advised not to go barefoot, always wear shoes. Is there anything I can do so I can get back walking without pain, foot pain? Okay, I'll tell you what you can do. You can email me. Email me at Tara at Doc of Detox, Tara at Doc of Detox, and I'll let them know tonight. And I want you to show me a picture of your foot, and then put your phone number on there, and I'll give you a call. How's that? But understand, you can reverse all of this. But if you're going to go out there to everybody else, they're going to give you insoles, or I don't even want to talk about what they do out there. It's so silly. You know what? Here's the deal. The medical system and even the natural health system, they don't recognize scar tissue or displaced calcification or crystallization in the body. That's why we run away with it. We run away with the body work. We run away with reversing conditions for people. And it makes it look like we're making claims, but they understand something. We offer a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment we'll do more than every other treatment you've got combined together. And we also offer a money-back guarantee. People will tell me their situation. I'll say, no, we'll offer you a money-back guarantee. You're not going to surgery. We'll offer you a money-back guarantee that you can get off those drugs, because the only reason why you're on those drugs is because you don't have freedom of motion, and you have so much infection, and you have so much pain. I don't blame you for being on them, but, drugs are not the answer. It's not through lack of drugs that we got into this condition, okay? All right. Is there anything I can do so I can get back walking without foot pain? Well, you're not going to get back walking without foot pain. So And I'll tell you why. Tamara, do you have a belly on you? Okay. And if you don't have a belly, okay, like, a spare tire right here. If you don't have that, then do you have improper bowel movements? Have you been struggling to go to the bowel movements forever in a day? Because like I said before, your pelvis, right? Your pelvis is like a soup bowl, and you filled that up with toxins. And what do you think gravity does? Crystallization. And the same blood that goes through your brain is also going through the end of your toes. Okay, but the problem is it's like there's not enough pressure anymore, blood pressure, normal pressure, because you've got too many blocks throughout your body, so you're stagnating waste in your feet. Okay, so your feet will actually be like cement stones eventually. Okay, and that's where you're going to have. That's where you're going to what?
Tara's email is
TARRA. Okay, all right. Never embarrass me like that again, or you can be fired. There you go. Don't even know the spelling of my own staff. All right. Where's the love? Huh? Okay. Anyways, you can reverse all of this, but if you were to go see a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, okay, and I'm going to say this, and you were to get a half an hour treatment and do about 3 of them on that foot, and after the first one, you'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. You know what? Here's the amazing part. It's how we are so amazingly dumb as therapists that we're not going to go in there and use our elbow, and we're not going to go in there and pull the scar tissue apart. We're not going to go in there and raise the heat and the blood flow to melt out the crystallization. We're not going to go in there and then put you on SAC calcium to actually put the calcium back into the toes of your feet where it was pulled from, and that's why you're the cement foot woman now. You know what? It's like everything else out there. It's watered down and twisted. You know what? I would never go for therapy for anyone out there. Between the massage, between the acupuncture, between the physio, and even the chiropractic, it doesn't get at the crystallization, the scar tissue formation, or the displaced calcium. They all have their place. Don't get me wrong. Okay? Out of 2 of those things I just mentioned, okay, I'm both of them, right? So understand. But I still don't do them anymore. And the reason why is because they don't work. Yes. Do I want to manage pain? I want to master it. Okay. Do I want to manage my health? No. I want to master my health. I don't want to go to someone to manage it. I don't want to go to someone to treat me. I want to treat myself right, which means that I got to be trained at how to do that so I can help myself and help my family. This is why they've got us over a barrel, because we don't even know what to do. So we usually do nothing, or we keep doing the same thing that doesn't work. And there's insanity. Christine, how do you treat hypothyroidism to avoid lifelong prescription forced on you by a doctor? Can hypothyroidism cause depression? Sure can. But having hypothyroidism, basically, you got to take a look at your iodine. Okay, we have a product called Iderol, and we have another one called Infinite Iodine. Okay, and I'd be spraying the Infinite Iodine here. And if you don't mind the taste of iodine, you just have to spray it in your mouth. Or you can take a time-release iodine. If you want to give us a call, you can do that. But the reality is, hypothyroidism, it's very rare that somebody has hypothyroidism and they don't have constipation. I didn't say they don't go to the bathroom. I just say that you've been trying to squeeze it out for a long time. And you also will find that people will be overweight, 10 pounds or more. Okay, so that's another problem. And with hypothyroidism, the more blocks you have throughout your body and the more that you stress out. Remember something, it's hormonal, right? Well, understand something. It was never hormonal at the beginning. First, it was just stress not managed, and it was diet not managed properly, and then a sluggish bowel reabsorbing the waste, bringing down your metabolism. Understand this. I am not telling anybody, and I never will tell anybody to come off of drugs. I will tell you that if you get a perfect day consultation and you've got hypothyroidism, you're not going to be on drugs, because guess what? May the force be with you. when you bring up your life force, when you bring up your immune system, you will bring up your circulation. And when you create balance on a nutritional level, you will not have a problem. Let me tell you, everybody's going in the back door with this. Anybody with hormonal problems, do whatever you want. But the reality is, I always look at first balanced whole plant-based diet and getting the cork out of your butt and cleaning the filter, which is the liver. There it is. And then how much water do you drink? I guarantee you don't drink enough water. I guarantee it's not structured water. So that's the reality. Well, you know what? I'm going to be doing a course, okay? And it's not a course, actually. It's a training, an online training. And I haven't set a date yet. And it's all because of, no. What's going on? I don't know what the hell's going on. Do you know what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I don't even know anything. I just make stuff up and I hope it works. There. So the reality is I'm going to do this course training for everyone. And it's called, boy, I'll tell you now, I'm losing it. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing what's called whole body, okay? Mind and whole body, mind and body course. And it's going to be about emotional, diet, nutrition, detox. It's 8 days. It's 8 days long. So we know they're probably going to do a COVID thing. So I'm going to see how this pans out in the next few weeks. But if they do a shutdown in North America, I'm going to come up and do this course for everyone, training, so that everybody understands how to create their own perfect day on an emotional and physical level. We'll keep you posted on that, okay? Let me see here. What do I think of persistent depression? Okay, you know what? You know what I really love? I love the game. Don't you just love the game? Arthritis. What is it? Oh, it's arthritis. It's a pain in your joint. Oh my God. Why didn't somebody tell me that? I don't speak Greek. Of course you don't. Colitis. What's that? Oh, that's inflammation in your colon because you didn't poop. Okay, what's Crohn's disease? Well, that Crohn's disease is created because you have so much stress and you have such an inflammatory diet. You put them both together and you've got a riot. Okay, so what's fibromyalgia? Oh my God, I went to the doctor. I got fibromyalgia. I can't believe it. Yeah, it means pain in your muscle fibers because you have inflammation because you don't eat right and you don't drink enough water. Oh yeah, but now I've got polymyalgia. What does that mean? Well, that means many muscles in pain. Oh my gosh, eh? Why don't they just say that? Wouldn't you love it, eh? So you go to the doctor and he goes, well, you had fibromyalgia, but now you moved up to polymyalgia. Because what's he going to say? Well, you had muscle pain, muscle fiber pain, and now you've got many fiber muscle pains throughout the body. That's what that means. So understand, everything's got to be deep. It's got to be a mystery. Isn't that something? Health is such a mystery. How to make money is such a mystery. Everything is such a mystery. Well, it's supposed to be that way. It's no mystery to me. The only mystery is that these guys have been ruling, schooling, and fooling us like forever and a day. So persistent depression? Well, what do you think it is? It's persistent. It doesn't stop. And the reason why it doesn't stop is because you've got a program running in your mind called persistent depression. Oh my God, what should we call somebody who's always depressed? Oh, I don't know. Let's call up all the great minds of the world, all the greatest doctors. Okay, guys, what do you think? Let me see. Depression a lot of the time? Nope, don't like that one. Oh, how about persistent depression? Oh, that's a good one. Let's go with that one because it's persistent. So yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of this, but I'm trying to tell you something. They're making fun of us. They're making fun of you. Persistent depression is actually what it is. You're running the same program. Let me ask you this. Do you think that people are depressed are invested in being depressed? Do you think that people that are happy are invested in being happy? Do you think that people that are healthy are invested in being healthy? Do you think people that are wealthy are invested in being wealthy? That's right. They got positive beliefs. They run over and over again until they become habits and they become prominent beliefs and habits in their body without thought, and they become that. So you are persistently depressed, and you don't have to do it. You don't even have to think about it because you've worked on it for so long that now that's your main program. You're a moneymaker for somebody. Connie, I had acoustic neuroma tumor. Definition, this is a benign tumor that develops on the balance and hearing or auditory nerves leading from your inner ear to your brain. Surgery from 7th and 8th nerves were severed. Can these nerves reconnect naturally? I'm still off balance even after 5 years and face numb. Okay, first of all, any type of really chronic condition, you got to look at doing SAC, or otherwise it's called IAC calcium. If you go to my SAC calcium guide in my library, that's where you can look at all the information. I have many videos in there because there's always displaced calcium wherever there's been trauma, drama, inflammation. Do you understand? Wherever there's been inflammation for a long period or a lot of it, like where you're on fire, you're going to be pulling the calcium from the bones in that area so that you do not create mutation. But it was too late. You did get mutation. You got a tumor. So it couldn't pull enough calcium to buffer down that, to buffer up the pH and make it more alkaline. It went so acidic, so it grew a tumor. So I'll tell you what I would do if I was in your situation, but I already do it. You know, you can believe it or not, but 5 days a week, I use a Doc of Detox clapper, and I do. And you see the bumpy sides right here? Which camera am I looking at? This one or this one? Main one. So you see the bumpy sides right here? Okay. And I'll do it like this. Here, I'll show you on this side. This is how hard I go. And even on my head, watch. Let me see if my thing's there. Nope. Hear that? It's just made out of wood, eh? My head. So you hear it? Okay, so this is how hard I go when I do it. Okay? So I'll be watching something on Gaia or some documentary or something like that when I want to chill out. And I'll do that. And then on the sides, I'll even do it. I'll do it on my face as well. Look. So especially people who have like gum disease, gum disease or anything like that, or you've got TMJ problems, or you've got any type of neuralgias in your face or in your neck, you want to work on the area, okay? And you can do this anywhere in the body. And what it does is you need to think about this. I hope you get this. It's crystallization. It's scar tissue formation. It's calcification. And you want to warm the area up. If I just where I clap now, it's really warm, okay? And so that means I've got more blood flow. So you got to get rid of the physical blocks that bind you in your body. That's the problem right there. Please go to my A to Z wellness guide in my library, and you can do my masterclass for free. Go read the first 50 pages, okay? And go read the first 50 pages, and then go watch the videos where you have problems in your body, and I talk about how you can reverse it. And then go watch my Clapping for Health. I'm putting that video up. It might even be up right now. Drake said it would be up at the end of the day, but usually he's wrong. So let's just call it tomorrow. And so tomorrow, go on my Clapping for Health, and you'll see there'll be like a 2-hour video there, and it's called the Preparation Clapping for Health video. And then go after that and watch the Clapping Your Lungs and Heart for Health. I've got that video up right now for you, and that's going to give you an idea. And then go in and practice on doing your lungs and your heart. This is your pericardium and your heart meridian here, and your lung meridian. So that's why we do this area. But go watch the videos, go read it, and go do it. Listen, don't tell me about your problems if you haven't taken massive personal action and taken your health back. No, I don't need anybody. You know what? I haven't been to a doctor since I was in my early 20s. Okay, so I don't go, right? I don't go get teeth cleaning, because you don't need to have your teeth cleaned if you on a whole plant-based diet. And the only reason why people have bum breath, and they got all that plaque on there. They got all those poop particles coming off that little private manure pile. Come on, look at people. I mean, gosh, you can look like you're 6 months pregnant today and you fit right in, even if you are a man. Okay? So there you go. Anyways, I can show you how to, Connie, you want to call me? All right? And get a consult, then we're really going to do it. But if you want to call me, I'll spend 10, 15 minutes with anyone. But the reality is I need to make you understand something. I'm going to prove to you that I know what I'm talking about and that we're going to follow through because we give you a guarantee, a money guarantee on our stuff because we know what we're doing. And the reality is I'll spend 10, 15 minutes with anyone saying, okay, here's your condition. Do you understand the logic, the common sense of how it got created? Well, now we got to go backwards and we got to get you into that healing point. And then guess what? The program that got you well is the program that's going to keep you well. You just don't have to do as much. But you can't go back to your old personality and trying to poison yourself, whether it's mentally or physically, and think that it's going to work. It's not. So the reality is you got to stand strong in your brave heart, because what if the rest of the family is still doing their toxic things? There lays the problem, and that's why they win. That's why the media wins. That's why food corporations, the pharmaceutical wins, because they know that the rest of your family isn't going to drink that Kool-Aid, because who wants to be a health nut, right? No, we want to eat toxic food and do toxic things because guess what? We don't think anymore. We're human doings. We're not human beings anymore. We might as well become robot, eh? Okay. Alicia, can people share the same bottle of Divine Vine? Sure. Well, no, maybe not. If you believe in COVID, no. So maybe not. Maybe the person breathed on it. So no, if you believe that COVID is something that you can breathe and it gets on, because Divine Vine, everybody, is a life crystal product that helps to regenerate tissue, but it helps to balance the thyroid. It helps with the brain. It helps with the moods. Okay. So yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem. I'm never going to give anybody COVID, and nobody's ever going to give me COVID. So that's that. And the reality is I can give myself a cold and a flu if I were to eat incorrectly, because that's how you get cold and flus. Listen, really healthy people don't get cold and flus. They might sneeze. They might cough, but they don't get fevers. They don't get infection. Okay? They don't get weak. They're not laid up in bed. All right? You know what? I don't even know what a flu or cold is. So that's that. You don't get these things. God created us, and our immune systems are so powerful. Just take a look at your life, and then don't ask yourself why you've got a runny nose, why you got a sore throat, why you got a cough, why you got a headache. My God, you are the headache. You're the headache if you're going to continually do things that dishonor yourself on an emotional and physical level. You are the headache. Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot dishonor the physical body and not expect to pay. It's not going to happen. Okay. Anyways, can people share the same bottle of Divine Vine? I will tell you that right now during COVID times, you better not. Okay, but this is going to be like this for the rest of our life, because do you ever notice something? It's like back when the Second World War was on and they said they were going to introduce income tax for 6 months just to help to pay it off. Wow, somebody's clock isn't working. Understand, the government never gives you back freedoms. It only takes them. All right. Gracie, what do you recommend for chronic inflammatory response syndrome, mold illness from fungus, bacteria, and various viral infections? Chronic inflammatory response syndrome. You know what? This is the craziest thing in the world. You know what that means? Chronic means you've been running the same program for a long time, okay? Inflammatory means that it's either got to come from your thoughts, they're negative, or your diet is negative. So which one is it? Okay, or is it both? Okay. Then response, well, that's just your immune system responding. And because you've got what you've got is an autoimmune disease, which means now you've just totally got so infected, so inflamed, your immune system is attacking itself, you. Okay. Syndrome, meaning it's been going on for a long time. So they use chronic, which means it's been going on for a long time. Syndrome means it's been going on for a long time. You think you really had something here. Understand something. What you've got is you've got a depleted immune system. What you've got is not having proper bowel movements. What you've got is not drinking enough structured water. What you've got is not being on a whole plant-based diet. What you've got is believing that you actually have a disease, okay, that nobody can figure out. That's what you got. Excuse me. I think I'm changing, actually. You know what I mean? Because it all should look pretty obvious right now that it's a game. And when you opt into their game, it's called the pain game. You need to opt into your own game. You need to step into your own power. This works so well for them. Why don't you go and read Medical Mafia in my library and find out how they did this? All right. Anyways, what do you recommend? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, I don't want to be the product picture. I'm way over it. But get on the daily cleansing tea. Everybody in the world should be on this morning and night. That's it. If you would have been on the daily cleansing tea morning and night, and because the daily cleansing tea cleans all the detox organs in the body. So if you didn't pile it up, you wouldn't have a crisis. If you didn't pile it up, you wouldn't have an infection that created the inflammation that caused the syndrome. Do you understand? So get on the daily cleansing tea morning and night. Get on black gold in all your blender drinks. Put it in your coffee, your ground coffee grounds with your drip. Or you can mix it in your soup. Okay? But this goes in and this cleans the intestine. This is humic powder, and it's got fulvic in it. So it's going in there and it's helping to grab the heavy metals. It's helping to reduce the acidity. It's helping to deliver the nutrients to the body properly. And then when the humic lands in the large intestine, the bacteria live on it, and that makes them even stronger. The daily cleansing tea, like I said, gently detoxifies all your detox organs each and every day. Would you rather do that? Would you rather create the perfect day where you do loving, gentle things throughout the day? Or would you rather just every 6 weeks, 3 months have a crisis? Maybe every 9 months have a crisis? Or have a tumor like mommy and daddy because it's genetic when it's not? Because cancer's not genetic. It's epigenetic. And that was figured out a long time ago, let me tell you that. And understand, if I'm wrong, somebody's going to come after me. But cancer is not genetic. Diseases aren't genetic. Diseases are symptoms of a body that is not in balance, is not in alignment. Oh, yeah, but my mother had this. Yes, when we love someone so much, we will suffer for them. The mind is the most powerful thing. And you ate like her. You talked like her. You walked like her. You lived like her. So when you put all that together, it's epigenetic. It's not genetic. So daily cleansing tea twice a day. Black gold, I like to do that twice a day in my blender drinks. I do the daily cleansing tea twice a day, every day. Every day. I have 3 bowel movements every morning. I have usually 2 blender drinks a day, and I have 1 large salad. That's all I eat. And tell me I've changed at all. If you've been following me for years, you know I haven't changed. I'm even a little slimmer maybe. Don't have as much muscle because I don't work out as much doing that. But the reality is tell me that I'm in 7 years, if you've been following me online, tell me that I look younger or older. I know I already look younger, so. And then the other thing you do is tummy love. Tummy Love is made out of fulvic and human liquid, so it goes more into the bloodstream and does its thing, and it also helps for the bacteria. Those are the 3 things that I would do in her situation, but I'd be doing that for everyone. I'd be doing that for the kids and the dog and the cat and everybody. Do you understand? Because it's all about the bowels. It's all about the large intestine. So we were talking about chronic inflammatory response syndrome. Okay, so all right, that Gracie has. So I would be doing that. I would also be doing curcumin cayenne 5000, which is not here. Okay. All right. So maybe we could have that in. So we don't have it, but it's called curcumin cayenne 5000. And understands curcumin, okay, is not turmeric. Turmeric has 5% curcuminoids. Our curcumin has minimum 95% curcuminoids in it. And then we have African cayenne. We only do 6%. We put that into with the curcumin. And we have the best, healthiest curcumin from, it's organic, and it's made from the best soils out of India. Now, we take that, and that reduces inflammation, right? Infection, and helps the immune system come up. It is the most used product for inflammatory diseases and cancer in the world. How's that? Okay, and it's one of the least expensive as well. All right? So, and then I would make sure I was drinking structured water. And this is a structured water unit right here. And with this, you can go anywhere, even out of a stream, and just run the water through, and it's going to be healthy to drink. All right? And a lot of people do Kangen, and they do carbon and all that. But structured water is the best hydrating water in the world to the cellular level. It erases the memory of anything toxic. And even if there's anything toxic in the water, it can't bother you because frequency the invisible overrides the physical. And it structured water will hydrate 1,000% better than any other water. And so that means it brings in the nutrients and it can detoxify better. You can look that up, and you can go look at that in my library if you want. So those are a few things that I would suggest, and I would suggest to everyone, if possible, get what's called our Sinonian minerals. There's 147 nutrients in here. There's all the minerals, all the vitamins, all the antioxidants in one product. So this is if you want to talk about a one a day, there's nothing that's going to touch this one. Okay? And that's called our Sinonian minerals. And just so everybody understands, our infinite iodine will be up on the shelf in 4 weeks. That iodine is the first of its kind that's going to be released. It is 10,000 times smaller than any other iodine on the market. It is a liquid, okay, and it is all organic and vegetable. And you spray 5 times into your mouth, or you can spray it on skin conditions and watch what happens when you do that. Okay, that will be released. I'll be doing a video on that as well. We're also bringing our C60 back, so we will also have C60. And guess what else we're doing, everybody? You better hold on to your seatbelt. We're releasing the first silver bullet tablet in the world. Very tiny, but it is a concentrated silver tablet, so you don't have to do silver liquid anymore. We're also going to be releasing it in as a gold product, okay, and also as a copper product. And we'll talk about that more as time goes on. But this is going to be so easy for people to travel, and these are powerful immune builders, okay? All right. Where are we? Joe, I have the Sinonian minerals. There you go. See, I didn't plan that. I just talked about it. Is it okay to take my other B complex with it? Let me tell you something. You can't OD on the B complex, okay? Well, you could on niacin. Niacin, where you flush yourself, and you could on that, but no, you're good to do it. You can take your B complex with it. And right now, it would be good because you're probably buffering it down with all the stressful people that you live with, okay? Like, that's not happening. Or is there a such thing as taking too much vitamin B? I wouldn't worry about it. No, you'll be fine. And just watch your urine. You'll be able to tell. Okay? Joe, let me see here. Brooklyn. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. What do you think about kinesiology? I think it's amazing. It works. It's a science. Kinesiology, they use it a lot with muscle testing. You can muscle test anything. Okay? Grace, what strength of vitamin C is usually acceptable? I don't deal with a lot of vitamin C. A lot of people lean towards vitamin C, and I think that's really good. And I don't want to give dosages here, all right? And understand something. What's acceptable? If the vitamin C is causing you to have loose stool or diarrhea, you're taking too much. So back off. That's how you can monitor it with your body. No kidding. That's what I would do. And that's the best test in the world, okay? Because why is that? Well, because everybody has a different absorption rate. And I don't know how the vitamin C was made. Vitamin C's, there's so many different types, and they absorb differently, and depending on a person, how much mucus they have in their digestive tract will depend on how much they absorb and properly into the system. And if you don't, then you're going to get diarrhea. So you just monitor yourself with your vitamin C and how your stools are. Don't use vitamin C to get your bowels moving. That's the wrong way to go. Adrian, I am halfway through a bottle of Cardigan for the osteoarthritis in my hip. I can't walk 30 feet without having to stop. My muscles are going very weak. What do I do? First of all, Adrian, I don't know how old you are, but right off the bat, so we know that your hip has turned into beef jerky. So now, did you get into an accident? Was it a sports accident, car accident? And if it just came on its own, then that means that either your cecum was blocked up with fecal waste and you've been absorbing it into your right hip, or you've been constipated forever and a day and you absorbed it into your left hip. Now, here's the deal. The tissue's still there, but it has dehydrated and twisted. So I would tell you to go see a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, and I would get an hour treatment, and I would do that every week for about 3 weeks to 5 weeks. But if you can't do that, start looking at doing my pelvic activation squats. You'll see that in my DIY guide in my library. And get yourself what's called a pelvic expander. If you're in Canada, we can tell you where you can get one. We don't make any money off of them. Or if you're in the United States, I'll tell you where to get it. Everybody needs a pelvic expander. Or you need to go and look at the pelvic expander. And I show where you can use 3 chairs, put your leg up on one leg up on the door frame, hang the other one down. Most people will have to put their foot on a chair because they'll feel like they're going to tear their pelvis open because they're so full of scar tissue, inflammation, crystallization, and displaced calcium. And that's the God's truth. And understand something. If you can't do my pelvic squats or hang your leg without putting it on a chair, then you are going to be have a cane, wheelchair, or a walker, or you're going to have prostate cancer, or you're going to have endometriosis, or you're going to have a hysterectomy or something, or who knows, okay? Not you, Adrian, but other women can. So you have osteoarthritis. Well, the reality is if you're not on a whole plant-based diet, go take a look in my Perfect Day Guide and look at just go to the 4 pillars in my Perfect Day Guide. Look at the exercises I've got in there. Follow that. Go try to look at the nutritional in there. And guess what? If you want, get a whole life coach consultation for $150. I'm the one that helps put it together. Then one of my master consultants will call you up, do the consult, send you the audio, and then you can call me or her or him as often as you want. We're responsible to help you get well. As long as you're going to take massive personal action, you're getting your hip back. End of story. End of story. We tell everyone, don't go to surgery until you see us. Don't cancel the surgery, but we don't need much time to prove it to you, do we? No, the body's amazing. But mankind's a liar. So now you can find out if I'm lying. Grace, is gout considered crystallization? Absolutely. You're crystallizing. That's it. So how's the ice cream? How's the beer? How's the alcohol? How's the sugar? Right? That's what it's all about. Okay? And everybody, if you don't know what gout is, it's in the toe. Okay? But it's the same thing as when I was talking about the lady earlier where she was having all the toe problems. She's having the same thing. She just doesn't have gout. Okay? She's got more scar tissue and calcification than she's got the crystallization, where gout is the crystallization, and you can't move because the crystals are like little shards of glass, and they poke on the nerves, and they can drive you right through the roof. Okay? And all of this can be reversed. You know what? Test me. That's what I would say. Test me. Lynette, what causes a swollen, cracked tongue? Depends on where it's cracked. So if you want to take a look, I'm going to be putting up our perfect day guide. Our new one will be up in 3 weeks. And there we will, you'll be able to actually be able to look at your body, read through things, and you are so going to understand things. But if it's cracked down the center, that's heart stress. If it's swollen, that's inflammation, huge inflammation. Cracked down the center, heart stress. And if it's swollen, that's huge inflammation in your body. So watch out, okay? Velma, what can I do about lupus and rheumatoid arthritis? Well, guess what? Lupus and rheumatoid arthritis go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. What can you do? I'll tell you right now. You know, every time that I'm asked about this, if I were to go into these products, it would take me 10, 15 minutes. And I can't do that. And then you know what I get? I get people on Facebook, right? And they go, oh my God, you're just like everybody else. So we're not going to do that. All right? So Velma, I'd suggest really that you get a consult, right? And if we don't help you, by teaching you and training you to improve your lupus and rheumatoid arthritis within 6 weeks to 3 months, I'll give you your money back on that. That's all I can do for everyone. You know, the reality is if you don't want to spend the money with us, spend it with someone else. Find someone you trust and say, look, I'm going to, trust in you to be my guide, to be my coach, to answer my questions when I call, and to keep me on track. And when I fall down, help pick me up. But as long as you do your part, you can get there. You can get there. You need a team, to accomplish the dream of becoming healthy and staying there. Anyways, lupus is basically, it's the arthritis connective tissue disease. That's what it is. And the reality is there's so much inflammation that she has arthritis, which means inflammation in the joint, where she's getting displaced calcium in her joints, arthritis with scar tissue and crystallization, right? Okay? So now it's spreading out to other tissues in the body, and it'll even go into her organs. Yes, that's what lupus is. And what it is the inflammation is eating away at connective tissue, and it will go to wherever the weakest parts in the body. Now, I'm going to say something, and I know that people aren't really going to like this. Some aren't. But I'll tell you something right now, and this is my firm belief, is I don't believe that cancer spreads. I believe that cancer doesn't spread from this organ to this organ. And I know that I'm going to have all kinds of people come up against me, but you know what? There's so much research that proves that if it isn't, if you really want to look at it, you know what it is? When you've looked after cancer here and then you get it here in this part of the body, it's because that's the next weakest link. You didn't change your personality. You didn't change your reality. You didn't change your habits. You didn't bring up your vibration. Something else is going to give. I mean, if this is a weak link and I fix this weak link, the next weak link is going to give if I don't maintain my body. So I believe if you take a look at everything else, if you don't look after your health, things only get worse. If you don't look after cancer, you're only going to get it other places. I mean, it's only logical. Where's logic? I don't know. It's gone. I've got friends that are, top medical doctors and dealing with cancer. And you know what? They would toe to toe argue with me until the cows come home, right? That's the way it is. Just like try to go. What I want you to do is go out and try and pull somebody's mask off, okay, tonight, okay? Meanwhile, the thing has absolutely no purpose, okay, and they're pooping into it, okay, and it's got cancer-causing chemicals coming off of it. But try and get that off of them, okay? So when somebody believes something, it doesn't matter. And when they believe it out of fear, well, you can forget it. It's not happening. So you can't talk to fearful people. And I'll tell you something. Most of my friends that are doctors that are involved in cancer, they're fearful people. Go figure. Vera, what is structured water? Okay, I'm going to try to make this quick because I've got about 11 to get through here, but I don't want to take any more lives here, okay? So let Tara know. No more lives.
No more lives.
Did you tell her that?
I'll tell her.
Okay, all right.
There are 2 hours.
Oh, don't start. Don't start with me. We have 2 Taras in our office. So now you're terrorizing me. Okay. All right. So this is structured water unit. You can also get this, and you can also get a shower unit that you can put your shower head on, okay? Here, I'll grab it. It's right here. Okay? Never wears out, never breaks down. And here comes the sales pitch. Didn't you like that? Never wears out, never breaks down, doesn't take any batteries. Okay, so, and you got a 90-day money-back guarantee. So understand that. And we do that for you because we want to prove to you we are right. So structured water is the rain that's coming down now. Hey, you know, little Billy Gates? Well, anyways, that guy that is going around the world because he wants to save the world. Well, understand something. He's the one that's doing the chemtrail that you see in the sky. And what is that? Well, it's plastic with aluminum. So before he even started doing that, there was all kinds of PCBs and all kinds of chemicals, heavy metals in the air anyways. So now with all of that coming down, isn't this amazing? Why is it that if the rain that falls is acid rain and it's so toxic and only a little bit can fall, why does the grass jump up for joy and everything goes green and the birds are tweeting and everything they're just loving it, aren't they? The flowers open up, the colors are brighter because it's structured. Because that which created this planet, that which created us, knew that Billy was going to spray the skies. No, I'm kidding. The reality is this: when you structure the water, even though the chemical is in there, even though the heavy metal is in there, guess what? You're protected against it. Yeah, you can actually drink structured water, and it still has the chemical in it, the heavy metal in it, but it doesn't poison you. Why? Because it's all about frequency. I already told you we're 99.999999996, okay, empty space in our particles, which we have 1 quadrillion of them. And if you were to empty out all the empty space and everybody on the planet, we'd fit in 1 sugar cube. Meanwhile, we don't look at our life as feeding the spirit, but we are that. So everything is based on frequency. Everything's based on vibration, light energy. That's what we are, electromagnetic light energy beings. Right? So now let's get back to the water. So when water goes through here, it goes through a vortex. And what it does, it spins the water in all directions at the same time. So it does that, plus we've got gemstones in here, and it goes through this. And I know you can say, well, this is hokey dokey, I don't believe it. Well, then buy one and send it back in 60 days. There you go. So the reality is, if you go and get spring water, not spring that comes up from the ground, but spring that comes, we call it mountain water, that comes down a mountain, high mountain, that's structured water. So if you live near somebody like that, even if there was chemical in it, you're protected. So even if there's a river or a lake, I'll pour water through this, as long as it's not like algae or it's scummy looking or brown, and I'll drink it. Okay, you may not believe this, but when I was traveling, which I'll start traveling again once they get what they want, okay, then the water, will come, my drinking water will come straight from a tap, around the world. And you'll go, oh, are you crazy? Well, does it look like I'm sick? Does it look like I'm unwell? I've been drinking just structured water now for 20 years. Right. How are you doing? So the reality is the invisible is much more important than the physical. And it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, because guess what? I don't even have to talk about my products and they sell. I got the highest vibrational nutritionals on the market. So I already know that. And you know what? I can make that claim to fame. I've been at this for 40 years. And I'll tell you something. My essential oils are the best concentrates, the purest form. And they come in Egyptian glass, which makes them last 3 years longer, right? And I've been doing my own essential oils now since I was 28 years old, and I'm 65. All right. So that's the reality. Between the eight, we're the only ones in the world that have Life Crystal products that regenerate tissue. And if you go to watch Dr. George Merkel's videos, Vancouver lectures on YouTube, you'll see I'm right. He provides all the science. So my humic, my fulvic is the smallest molecular weight. It's also not made with any chemicals. 98% of all humic and fulvic is made with chemicals, and mine is not. Okay, so that's the reality of it. You know, everything I carry, it's the best of the best. You know, look at the infinite iodine I'm bringing out. 10,000 times smaller in molecular weight and size than any other iodine, and completely organic and vegetarian. Right, whole plant-based. That's the ticket right there. And understand, everybody needs iodine. Okay. What do you do for sciatic nerve and restless leg syndrome? Well, understand something. When you have sciatic nerve pain, that's because, okay, now sciatic nerve moves through a sheath like this, okay? Got that? So when it moves through that sheath, when you become inflamed, you crystallize and it gets sticky. So now the nerve can't move. So now you've got nerve pain. And the reason why you got nerve pain is it's called your SI joint. You know, there's two bumps back here. Some people it's dimples, and you can feel them. There's two bumps near your low back, about 2 inches out from your spine. You'll feel them. Now, they get scar tissue and crystallize all around them as if it was like a nut that got rust all around it. So now what we got to do is go in there and pull apart all that scar tissue and crystallization all around there. I'm going to tell you something. If I were to have her in here with her sciatic nerve pain, it would take me 10 minutes to relieve it. Did you get that? I hope you're getting this. I can't get my heel on the ground. I got to get a cane. You know what? That's because it's so much BS out there. Dysfunctional belief systems, from the cane to the walker to the wheelchair to Depends to prescription drugs to surgery. Nobody cares. You know, people can actually, you know what people can do? They can actually turn this all around. But we're all programmed, aren't we? We're all programmed for it. Well, when I'm this age, I'll look like this. When I'm this age, I'll feel like this. When I'm this age, I'll do this. I'm not conforming to anything, okay? I'm not conforming to anything, all right? I'm going to break all the rules, okay, because they're my rules. And understand something. Rules aren't meant to be bent. They're meant to be broken because the rules suck. You understand that? And I don't need anybody to tell me how fast I need to drive down the road because I love myself enough. I don't need to know that, okay? I don't need anybody to tell me to wear a seatbelt because I'm going to do it. And I don't need anybody making any more rules for me and telling me what I need and how they're going to protect me. Okay? So I'm not playing. Sciatic nerve pain. Okay. So sciatic nerve pain, if you can go to a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, get one treatment, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And restless leg syndrome, how about terrorizing yourself, dumping adrenaline all the time, even on a subconscious level? You have anxiety and you have nervous leg syndrome because you burnt your nervous system out, because you keep on pushing the adrenaline button. Okay? Now, did you ever see anybody and their leg, they move their foot like this, they twitch their foot or they move their leg And you ever see anybody do that? Okay, that person is going to have Parkinson's. They're going to have MS. They're going to have a neurological disorder. You can't act nervous and not become nervous. You can't terrorize yourself and not terrorize your nervous system. You do get that, don't you? If you terrorize yourself, and every time that you have a little drama moment, you have just dumped adrenaline into your body. But meanwhile, you're not up there running. If you were at least running from the tiger, when you're done, you'd be tired but at peace. When you go and you terrorize yourself and you put yourself into the external world, you're supposed to be running. And when you're not, that adrenaline is eating away your nervous system. There's no such thing as restless leg syndrome. There's only such thing as unconsciously, subconsciously terrorizing yourself or someone in your family doing it to you all the time, and you're allowing that to happen. And you have an acidic diet, and you don't drink enough water, and you don't connect yourself to your lion heart breathing. I want to tell you something. You know, if I was like my mother and father, I would have probably been dead by 50. They both died of cancer before they were 55. So understand that, okay? So you're not I don't have any glory stories where my father lived till he was 95. Do you understand that? Okay, so if genetics was the reason I should have cancer, I'll never have cancer. I don't have a cold, for God's sakes, and I never will have COVID. And if they ever say I have COVID, it's only because I probably had a cold or flu at one time, and it might show up. The reality is the whole thing is a mess up. Okay? Let's talk to Holly. Holly, hello. So I was just watching your video about chewing your food, lots, etc. I have a friend who eats fast, and she uses the washroom a lot. Number one, easily she needs to go every 30 to 45 minutes. So she's got diarrhea. And she doesn't chew her food. She eats her food fast. So eat your food fast, poop fast. Did you get it? Eat your food fast, poop fast. That's it. Because she's burnt her nervous system out. Because when she sits at the table, that's where you sit there in peace and calm. You give thanks to the farmer. You give thanks to the food that has given its life up for you. Isn't that something? And you don't talk about anything with anxiety at the table. And you chew your food until it's a liquid. And if you don't, then you'll have liquid coming out your butt. Because what will happen is if you don't chew your food down to small particles, then you can't digest it. So instead of digesting, it putrefies, so it rots. So then you create bad bacteria that give off gas, and boom, out your, it rhymes with it, but I won't say it. Okay, all right. So she took her time eating. It would make any, if she took her time eating, would it make any difference? Absolutely. So let's food combine properly. Don't mix starches and proteins. Don't have two different proteins at a meal. Okay? Try to have salad and a starch together, or a salad and a protein. When you have protein, have a salad with it. When you have starch, have a salad with it. Make sure you chew your food and it's a liquid before it goes down your throat. So if you did that, you would be able to eat 1/3 of the food and you would have twice the energy. Did you hear what I just said? That's proven. Esther, good morning. I go to sleep with pressure in my head from 5G every night. Is there anything you can suggest to do in the morning or at night? There is a great deal of pressure in my eyes. Well, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you something. Do you have, what type of lighting do you have? LED lighting in the house? Because if you do, that's going to cause blue light problems, which on the eyes. Do you watch TV? Do you go on computers? Do you look at a cell phone? Okay, these are all things that cause blue light. Now, blue light does not damage the eyes. It damages the brain. What the brain does is cause inflammation and burning in your eyes because it's trying to get you to stop doing whatever the heck you're doing that's causing your brain to burn. Can you tell them to bring in my Teslas? Now, understand something, everyone. Yeah, I'll use yours. So these are Tesla glasses, and the minute I put these on, the blue light and any 5G that's going and hitting my eyes has not been blocked. It has been conformed and transformed into actually healing light and vibration to heal my eyes and my brain. Did you get that? These are the only glasses in the world that do it. They're called Tesla Lightwear. Go to EMF/light on my website, on my shop, and you'll be able to purchase these if you want. We have them for children, and we have them for adults. Okay, they're amazing. And we have, if you saw my pair, they're a lot cooler than Sean's. Sean's are, Sean's, he's not really a very cool guy, I guess. Here, Sean. Anyways. Oh, yeah. That's what you do. You gotta be really hard on your staff and just, kind of keep them in their place. Right, Sean?
Yeah, you got it.
That's it. Okay, all right. We're just having fun here. All right. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Let me go back and just read that for a second. Yeah, okay, so I already told you that if you were to switch to structured water, it's the only water in the world that actually neutralizes the blue light and the 5G in all the fluids of the body. You heard what I said, and we can prove it. The next thing is take a look and see if you have a smart meter on the side of the house. Make sure that your Wi-Fi is turned off before you go to bed. Make sure your telephone is on airplane mode. Make sure that there is no electric alarm clock beside your head or near the bed. Everything is unplugged around your head. If you really have a lot of trouble, get an electrician to come in and totally shut the hydro off in your bedroom so there's no electricity in the walls. And if you were to actually shut the hydro off, I know you got to heat the place, but if you don't, if you could actually shut the hydro off in your house, that's going to help a lot. It's all about frequency. Remember what I said? It's all about frequency. It's all about the type of light. It's all about that. But understand this, if you're eating a whole plant-based diet, if your bowels were moving, it's teamwork, all right? I'm not going to go through all the products. But here it is right here. This is called the Bodyguard. And this is called a Bodyguard right here. And you see the different colors? There's turquoise, there's pink, there's royal blue, purple, and red. You can see them if you go to EMF/light on our shop. And here, I want to show you something, everyone. The kids that go to school, they're totally protected. When you wear this around your neck, you're totally protected. See mine? Okay, here's for children. And people will actually buy these and put these on their pets. Okay? Or they'll put this on the baby crib, right? To protect the baby. And this will actually protect you 7 feet from your head up, 7 feet down from your feet, 7 feet out from your body all around. And it won't let, it won't let 5G, 4G, Wi-Fi, cell phones, all of those things bombard you. Now I want to show you something else. Okay? Right here. This is for a house. This will do a large house, 200 feet across. Okay? 200 feet this way, 200 feet up that way, 200 feet down that way. So it'll cover you with condos. It'll cover you with those bloody 5G towers on top of your roof. And you're going, wow, I don't really think so. Yeah, you need to go and take a look at the videos I did with Peter Webb, okay? And we did a show and a Q&A, right? So you want to go to my library. You want to go to my library. And you want to go to, where did we do that now? 5G, okay, blue light guide, and look in there and you'll see the Peter Webb interview I did, okay? It's amazing. I mean, this is all about radionics. You know what? We'll believe that they can use blue light and 5G to poison us, but we won't believe that there's something that can actually neutralize us and heal us, okay? You'll actually see your skin improve. You'll actually see headaches go away, thyroid problems. You know what I mean? It's all about protection, okay? And then this here, and this here, all right? So take a look at this. This will do a 5-acre building, right? This will do a 5-acre building. This will do a 5-acre garden, right? Okay? And when you need to watch the videos. It's hard for me to explain because most people aren't going to believe it. Okay. So yeah, there's things that you can do to protect yourself. All right, let's move on. John, I have Crohn's 3 intestine removals and a lot of scar tissue down there. How do I stay away from developing cancer? Well, the reality is if anywhere in your body becomes deprived of oxygen by 35% or more for an extended period of time, I mean, we're talking about a few days, you're going to have cancer cells. Now, the reality is this. If we take a look at the food we eat, the thoughts we have, that's really important place. How we eat, how we combine our food, the type of water we drink. Okay, but the reality is John, do you know what's going to get you? And it's going to get you. You can't go in and do surgery in your abdomen without having massive scar tissue. And that's not even just from the surgery having scar tissue. When you have surgery, look at it, it's the most terrorizing thing for your cells. You know what? You'll get roots growing off the scar where they actually cut you 2 to 3 inches long, wrapping around your intestines. You got to have somebody go in there with Wolfe Non-Surgical. It's an elbow technique I put together, and I put that together over 34 years ago, so you can know how we've improved it. But the reality is I'll tell you what, John, we're going to do 1 hour treatment on your abdomen, and you're going to go, oh my God, I feel like the whole world has just been lifted from me. You're going to digest better. You're going to poop better. You're going to breathe better. Come on. You know, it's all about scar tissue. Try to just picture beef jerky wrapping itself and choking your intestines. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And the reality, even if you have mentally changed, because understand, John, that it wasn't just a nutritional, the way you ate problem. It was the way you thought problem. And even if you change that now, you better get rid of this right here. So you better start learning how to do pelvic squats, a pelvic expander, belly button therapy. You got to get Wolfe Non-Surgical, whether you fly here or or we get a master trainer to come to you and teach you and your wife how to do it so she can work on you and just reverse this stuff. You know, we do personal treatment and trainings where we have master trainers flying all over the world, teaching families how to do it. We go and certify clinics how to do this around the world. Or people come here. We have condos here and they come in to stay here. Right now we have 2 families here. Right? So the reality is massive personal take action. You know what? That's right. You keep on searching and see if somebody's going to have this life-saving, life-changing treatment that's going to help you. No. The day that you become your own practitioner, the day that you take massive action, this is all over and you don't have to worry about cancer. Because the problem with cancer is the capital C. And that stands for corruption, contamination, okay, and conflict. And that's all inside of you until you become the answer. And what's left after you take the C away? ANCER. You're the answer, John. And if you don't believe me, call me up. Get a consultation, and then let's move forward and tell me we don't blow your mind. We're going to blow your mind because guess what? You don't realize that there's a genius practitioner living inside of you. And that's it right there. So keep on waiting for the big breakthrough, the scientific breakthrough, the nutritional breakthrough. But the biggest breakthrough you'll ever have is discovering your authentic self. Monica, how do I get info on costs on your courses and training? Go to itioh.com, but better still, you call me. You can call me tomorrow. My extension is number 5. Anybody can call me. And then leave a message. I'll call you back, and if you don't hear from me in a few hours, you call me back. Remember something, Dr. Wolfe, I don't want to bother you. You're so busy. Yeah, well, I want to be busy with the people who want me to be busy with. You know, the reality is there's always going to be tons of people, but you may not believe this, but we get back to everybody. Right now, I've got 5 people here. I've got 3 people online at home, and guess what? They're all answering questions. People who just want little Band-Aids, other people who have already gotten consultations, people who have gotten personal treatment and trainings or want us to come, okay? All right, so Sage, who's one of our headmaster trainers, just flew out yesterday morning, and he's gone for 8 days to teach 2 couples. Well, that's 3. 2 couples. He's gone to teach 2 couples how to work on each other. That's right. Okay, and how old are they? They're in their 70s. Did you hear me? They're all in their 70s. You're never too late to feel great. You're never too late to take it back. And you're never too late to say no more. And you're never too late to say, I will unconditionally love myself every moment that I live from now on, because I want to teach my children, my wife, my husband, and everyone else that it's okay to, you can totally love yourself. You're not going to go to hell for it. Okay. Unfortunately, I live in Italy, and I am not living in an easy financial situation, but I love and follow you and would so much like to meet you someday. I'd love to come to Italy, and I will someday. I swear I will. And, just stay in touch with me, and I'll let you know when we're coming over, Monica. But I am going to be doing the whole life, mind and body, online training. It's an 8-day training, all right? And once you've taken this 8-day training, are you ready for this? You can take trainings continually. I'll never recharge you. So the reality is repetition is the key. And what if it was truthful information? And what if Dr. Wolfe wasn't a phony? What if he actually wanted to empower you and he gave you the right information? Well, wouldn't that be something new? Okay, let's give it a shot, because that's what I'm going to do. Okay? Jody, hi, do you have any treatment advice for warts? My son has one on his knee and has been using the over-counter free stuff, but it's not working. I'll tell you something. There's lots of things you can do, but you can call me. But the reality is you can suffocate that wart, okay? But I'll tell you what I did. You want to hear a story? So I was raised on a farm, okay, in Ontario. And we used to go to a brick schoolhouse, where you got in the bus, you took the bus for an hour, and then you went to the schoolhouse, and then every row was a grade, and there was 7 rows, so it went up to grade 7. So, back then, life was really quite amazing, I put my arm back like this because I had a wart right here, just below my elbow, and I went like this, and my buddy with his pen knife, his name was Leslie, and he just dug it out. So there you go. How's that for therapy? And it never did come back. I'm not telling you to do that. Okay, so you can use a Band-Aid, and you can soak this. You can put a little bit of DMSO gel on it in the Band-Aid, and then you can also put oregano and just a teeny bit of DMSO and soak the Band-Aid with that, and then put it on tight, and then put it on, take it off the next day, and then put a new one on, and keep doing that, and it won't be able to survive. Okay, so a little bit of DMSO gel, which is right here. You can use DMSO cream, but it's not as strong. This is DMSO gel, and it's non-toxic. Okay, and then you put DMSO gel, just a teeny bit on the band weight, just a teeny bit like a pinhead, and then you put just a couple of drops of the super strength oregano that we have, and then put that over and try to just have it so it's just on the wart, okay? And if you don't want to do that, then just put a pinhead of DMSO just on the top of the head of the wart. It won't like it at all because it increases the circulation, increases the oxygen, and warts hate all of that, right? They hate life because they're not life-giving, all right? They're like parasites. They're mushrooms of the body, okay? And understand something. It's about his liver, and it's about him backing up. He doesn't have a very good diet, okay? All right? Caitlin, remember something. Every child, every adult needs to be on daily cleansing tea. If you can't afford anything else, get the cork out of your butt and celebrate, okay? All right? Caitlin, I have been getting a bad outbreak of eczema on my eyes. I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't know why I keep getting this eczema every time the snow hits outside. What can I do? Well, actually, it's every time the temperature changes, which means your immunity is down. And you can use silver gel around your eyes. Even if you got it in your eye, you're not going to hurt it. And it's really going to help, love. So use silver gel. And I want you to spray silver. Well, here's the silver gel, silver bullet gel. And then here's the silver bullet spray. Spray that in your eyes and put this around your eyes. And then at nighttime, there's a silver bullet spray. Spray that in your eyes. And at nighttime when you go to bed, I want you to close your eyes when you're ready to go to sleep and put the gel right on the top of the eyelid. Okay, and then you can put it down underneath here, okay, and around, and just let it soak. It's amazing for it. And the silver gel, it's non-toxic. You could eat this stuff, okay? All right, so there's the starter point, but you got to look at the gluten, you got to look at the sugar, and you got to look at your bowels moving again, okay? Because you got to remember something. That's a type of eczema is a type of a fungus. Now we're back to the fungus. And you have to understand something, that it did come from your bowel first, and it's the weakest area of the body, okay? All right? So what, and also if it's around your eyes, I'm going to ask you, what aren't you seeing in your life that you need to see? Okay? You think about that, would you please? Because everything physical has an emotional attachment. I mean, you know what? If I were to talk about every one of these illnesses, if I were to go through every one of these products, like I should, but I can't, and if I were to go through that and I were to talk about the emotional attachment, because there's always an emotional attachment to everything, because it starts off emotional before it's physical. You have to understand that. It would take us like probably about 35, 40 minutes for every patient. Yeah. Brittany, one of your videos spoke of me because I have a polyp in my gallbladder, which is another wart, and it's an internal one, that they are watching. Oh, let them watch it. Oh, we're just going to keep an eye on that for you. But it has grown. But I want to know how to treat this on my own instead of telling me why they will watch it. Isn't that something? We'll watch it until it gets big enough that we have to go and get it. Then what? What can you suggest? I'll tell you right now, time's running out, and I got to be honest with you. Gonna have to work with your bowel, get on the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, but then you got to do coffee enemas. You do, okay? Because you've got some real liver problems going on here. Now the reality is that if you've got gallbladder problems, I want to ask you right now, okay? All right? What are you angry about? Okay? What are you angry about? Okay? Because anger and hate get stored by the gallbladder. All right? And take a look at your diet. But I would tell you to go get a consult for $150, and we'll bring this home. Understand, the polyp will go away when you change the environment. Now, are you ready to change the environment here and change the environment in your intestines? If you are, then everything goes out, and it goes out from there, and it'll change everything in every organ. Environment dictates what's going to live there, and your environment is growing mushrooms. Okay? Emotionally, physically, you are a mushroom grower. So ask yourself what you're doing, okay? I'm so curious to learn more. I am a mom of 4, and since having my first kid, this is Brittany, made changes slowly as I learn. I want to be better and do better. Where do I begin? How do I know what I should give my kids each day to protect them and just feed the body what it needs? That's where I get lost. How do I? Again, I'm going to tell you, please pay $150 and get a consult. And if you don't want to do that, go to my Perfect Day Guide and go watch the Perfect Day video. Go through the whole Perfect Day Guide. Read the information that's in there, okay? And take massive action. And then maybe you'll get enough out of that. And then don't be afraid to call and ask questions. You know, we'll stay on the phone with you for a few minutes, but we're not going to do a whole consultation because, yeah, trust me, for $150, we're going to give you unlimited support for you and your kids. All right? Where are you going to get that? Brenda, hi, Dr. Wolfe. Oh, also, order my book. Order my book, Healthy to 100, which is right here. That's my book. It's only $15, and it's called Healthy to 100, okay? All right? And then I want to show you this other one that I'm really proud of. Here's our non-surgical guide, okay? All right? This is the most amazing book. Okay, when you take this course and you take a look at this manual, you'll see that there's nothing in college or university that can even come up against this. And understand something right now. I want to say this because there's no time to play around. And that's this. You come and take my course, which is 8-day whole life coach training, and get certified as an emotional nutritional coach. And then take my 11-day Wolfe Non-Surgical. And I promise you that you will be the best body worker 200 miles anywhere around where you live. Now, you can say BS, Dr. Wolfe, and I'm going to tell you that I can give you hundreds of practitioner names, okay? And why don't you watch the show that's on tomorrow, not tomorrow night, but Wednesday night, when we interview a couple that have come and taken my course 3 times. I know it's 3 times, but that's over the last 2 years. And the day she finished the course, after the first 21-day course she took, she opened her business the next day, and they've been booked since. Look at this. When you leave my course, you will be confident enough to go, okay, I understand that you've been here, there, and there, but guess what? I'll give you a money-back guarantee that on the first treatment, I do more than any other therapist has ever done for you. Yeah. Okay. And I say, put your money where your mouth is. All right. Now, let me see here. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have been diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma. Definition: cancer that began growing in a milk duct and has invaded the fibrous or fatty tissue of the breast outside of the duct. I do not want to have surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. Can you help me? What do I need to do? Thank you. Okay. Okay, first of all, that doesn't happen unless you have pelvic inflammation first. And you don't get pelvic inflammation unless you had your bowel leaking waste for years, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, you backed up your lymph because you wouldn't have the problem coming in if your lymph wasn't all backed up. And that means that feel under your armpit and it'll feel fatty, which you shouldn't. That means you have that lymph congestion. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm really doing my best here, guys. But I want to tell you this. Are you worth $150? But I will tell you this. What I want you to do, love, okay, is I want you to go into my library, go through the Perfect Day Guide, look at the 4 pillars. Then I want you to go into the A to Z Masterclass, which is free until Christmas. Go read the first 50 pages in the A to Z Masterclass. There, you're going to get an eye-opener here. Then go to the area where we talk about the pelvic work, the abdominal work, and the breast work, and I'll actually show videos on it in the A to Z Masterclass. Okay, and remember, you also promised me that you're going to go through the Perfect Day Guide and look at the 4 pillars. Okay, so now you go do those 2 things, all right, and then you give me a call, and then we'll talk, and then you decide if we're worthy of your time, okay? All right, and that's what you need to do. If you're not willing to do any homework, then you have no value. If you're not willing to take massive personal action, don't ask why your life isn't changing, okay? My son possibly has Crohn's. Is there any way to cure it? Let me tell you something. Your son holds the cure, love. And you hold the cure. For one thing, why are you feeding him the food that you're feeding him? Because you're not feeding him properly, but you don't know better until you can't do better till you know better. So I'm not telling you should. But the reality is, if you got Crohn's, that means that you've got high inflammation in your small intestine, and you're creating scar tissue formation, and you're also creating ulceration. So this is something that, you know what, you need to take it serious. Okay. So again, I would tell you to get the Perfect Day consult. I really would. Okay. And like I said, if you don't think we're any good, just call and get your money back. You know, has there been any test in your life that you didn't have to study for? Are you done staying at home being scared? Are you done staying at home waiting for the phone to ring because somebody's got the answer? Superman's not coming. Okay. Edgar, my mother is 65 with severe anemia. Okay. So most of the times, I'm just going to tell you this. Again, you're going to go, oh my gosh, can he just be quiet? It's a bowel problem. Your bacteria are actually responsible for most anemic problems. Go figure, right? She never gets sleep and is taking constant medication. Well, there, I just told you, constant medication is bombarding and wrecking her good bacteria. It's wrecking her digestion, assimilation, and excretion of waste. Your mother's constipated. Bone marrow doesn't show anything after numerous tests. Well, because it's not in the bone, it's in the bowel. Okay. The factory that produces blood cells isn't working properly. Therefore, her blood is always low. That's not true. Her diet, she diets well, gets rest during the day to keep her going. What can she do naturally to boost blood count to help produce better cells? Okay. Again, I need you to go to the Perfect Day Diet. Let her take a look at the Perfect Day Diet first, okay? Then ask your mother what her bowel movements are like, okay? I want you to get your mother on the phone with me. My extension is number 5, okay? And your name is Edgar. Edgar, get her on the phone. Get her on the phone with me. Let's talk for 5 to 15 minutes, and we will put this to bed. Now, is she going to have a change like that? No, because drugs don't heal. So even though you may not feel the pain, you're still inflamed. You're still infected. It's just telling your brain to shut up. So the reality is we're not going to tell her body to shut up at all. We're going to go in and love her well. Okay? All right? So if you trust me on that and you want to make a phone call, I'm here for you. All right? And I mean that. Leave a message if you don't get me. I'll call you back. Okay, so we made it. Tuesday, November the 10th. Sherry Tenpenny live, okay? And it's the post-COVID show. She's going to tell you what's going on and what the rules are with this whole transhumanism thing. And under 4:30 tomorrow. And remember, New York says they're going to mass vaccinate, and you don't have a choice. All right, so let's see what she's got to say about that. Don't miss tomorrow's show. And then on Thursday, she's coming live for a Q&A. Come with the hard questions. Come with the hard questions. And those of you that believe in vaccination, come with the hard and challenge us. Okay? We love it. Let's do it. You know, we're all family here. We're allowed to have different opinions, but let's not attack each other. Okay? Let's talk it over. All right? And now on Wednesday, I told you I was going to have a practitioner come on. And guess what? He used to work up in the oil mines, okay, up north. I'm not kidding. Him and his wife. All right? And I already told you, they run a successful business, and wait till you hear how much they're making and how many people they're helping. And they've only been into health. He's only been doing it for 1 year as of just 4 days ago when I did the show. Okay, 4 days ago when I told him I wanted to do the show. So check this show out live, okay? You're going to hear about how we all have the power to heal ourselves. And we all have the power to become practitioners. Well, somebody better in your family. Doesn't seem to be working, does it? Not for a lot of families. Okay? And our upcoming courses, we have a course in January, the 9th in Kelowna. It's a full combined certification. We only have a couple spots left. And we're going to be doing, like I said, the whole life, okay? Mind and body online course in February, okay? All right? In February. So you won't want to miss that, okay? And I'll let you know by the new year what the date is. I'm just waiting until all this craziness is over to a point that we can actually maybe just get a handle on something, all right? We are going to be in Extapa Palace. It's going to be called the Extapa Palace World Training and Healing Center. And guess what? We're going to be having people coming with courses from all over the world. I'm going to be teaching a 99-day course down there where you'll be taking my course 3 times, plus working on people that are going to be coming in with every condition in the world. And when you go home, you are going to be ready to rock and roll. You can come down there and take my 21-day course, or you can come down for one of my personal treatment and trainings. We have 5 different ones. Pain-free pregnancy course. We have the couples training. We have the Wolfe Non-Surgical course. We have the sports trainers course. This is all about learning scar tissue crystallization and displaced calcium, and then how to eat and how to treat yourself. And this is all going to happen. Go check out online at Extapa Palace, Extapa, Mexico. Okay? Extapapalace.com. Tell me what you think. All right? If you're interested in a consultation, please go to docofdetox.com and go to the consultation tab. All right? And just know this. I did the clapping preparation video. It's about 2 hours long. It'll be in the clapping guide in my library by tomorrow. Okay? All right? And like I said, if you want, you can always see our shows on YouTube. And all the questions that we have are all time-stamped. And if you want to download our shows, like download the audios, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. God bless everyone. Take back your power, but better still, stop giving it away. And let me see if you can do this from now for 24 hours. See if you can only have positive thoughts, say in the present moment, have a slight smile on your face, shoulders back, chin up, Lionheart breathing, and just go. 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I totally love myself, respect myself, and I will honor myself. Let's try for 24 hours. God bless. Take care. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.